Here's a question for you, youngins. You think college would be the way to go for you guys?
It depends.
Not for me personally.
Not for me either.
But if you want to do something and you really want to do that for the rest of your life, you see that being the only way, go to college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree 100%. If that's what you're passionate about, do it. You know what I mean? Nothing's holding you back. But for me, no, personally, I want to do stuff like this,
Yeah.
You
You don't need to get a college degree to and because you're a landscaper right now, And
Yeah,
if you were to,
I cut grass.
if you were to start your own landscaping business, you don't need to go to college for that. You know?
I don't need a degree.
Now, if
Anything
you
you can everything you can get at college, you can get on the internet.
yeah,
I
but
mean, really.
there's some jobs that you have to have that degree, that piece of
And
paper.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
Even some of those degrees, though, if you know the right people and you work your way up the ladder, a lot of times you can still get those jobs. Because my brother is basically an engineer. There's people coming out of school with 4-year degrees trying to get his job, and they can't even get it because he started as a field tech and he worked respectably. He worked his way up,
Yeah.
and now he does the work that a engineer would do, and he makes the money that an engineer would make at that. And they did 4 years and they're in debt, and he just worked his way up to that point because of who he knew, how good a job he did. And
I guess it all depends.
it all depends. But if you want to be like a doctor or a nurse or a psychologist or something that requires you going to school for, and that's what you want to do and you're passionate about it, by all means do that.
Go for it.
Right.
If you want to start a business, you don't need a college degree.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So even if somebody who did have that college degree wanted to start their business, they have all that, and
But
they have that knowledge. But if you've been studying this, you know what I mean? And you want to start your own business, you can. You don't need that certificate, correct?
Studying 4 years of business, but somebody else has been working 4 years in business, who do you think is going to be better off?
Working.
Somebody
who's been out there putting these things in the process, learning by failure.
Not to mention the debt that you've accumulated with college.
Yeah.
A 4-year college.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when somebody's working from as soon as they get out of high school, they're a lot better off.
Yeah,
in my
I
opinion.
agree.
Yeah.
But if you want to do something and you got to get
I'd agree. If you want to be a lawyer,
exactly,
and you're passionate about it, that's the whole thing is passion. Like whatever you're passionate about and whatever you want to do that thing,
Yeah, a lot of people, they get these jobs and they hate their jobs.
Yeah.
And I say,
if
you don't like your job, quit your job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, depending on the situation.
I mean, let's be honest here. We're just making enough to, go back to work the next week, get enough gas
if
to
you're
go
living
back.
week to week, but see, some people
You
have
know
like
what I mean?
some people have like kids and family, and they can't just quit.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, there's this guy at my work, and he comes in and he's like, wow, I almost didn't come in today because I didn't want to. But he has a kid and a wife. Like, he has to come in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're somebody like me, you don't got no kids or something,
No
get a new
responsibility,
job, dude.
Yeah,
Put in different applications. Like,
I'm about to tell
something of your
my
own.
job where I work. I'm going to have to tell them I need Saturdays off because I'm going to be doing these fight nights, and this is my future. That job isn't my future.
Right, exactly.
That's not where I'm headed.
Right.
So while it's paying me money right now and it's enabling me to pay my bills and take care of that kind of thing, that's not my goal. That's not my future. I want to do this.
Absolutely.
And I want to do other things online and make money that way. So I'm going to have to tell them, hey, I've been there 8 months now or something close, 6 months, 8 months, it's 7 months. The year's flying, by the way.
Oh,
We're
true.
We're already in July, which is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
And I started there in December, but that's 8 months. That's
Sounds like
crazy. I feel
So
like I
what-
just started that.
I
job.
know.
Would you consider yourself a slave?
No, because of my mindset.
Okay.
I know, if I really didn't want to do something there, I'd leave,
Absolutely.
Right now,
What do you think,
I'm
John?
using them to make money, and it's taking care of my bills, like I said. But now that I have something that is going to further my future, I got to go and say, hey, I can't work on Saturdays anymore.
Yeah.
Because I have, things that are going to...
And what if they said,
that's my
no,
future.
sorry, we can't do it?
Well, then they won't see me on Saturday.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would agree. I would agree that I'm not a slave personally because I talk about the things that I mean. You know what I mean? Like, for my boss,
Yeah.
I'll tell him if I see something wrong or something. I consider a slave just working, going to work, kissing up to the boss every single day, not asking for a day off to work, to do your own thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a slave where you're satisfied where you're at. You just care about going into work every day
Yep.
and care about what the boss thinks of you. I think that's bad. I actually got let go recently because
Right.
my boss is coming in doing drugs. You know, I'm not happy. He's not showing up to work like a normal boss would with that kind of work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wasn't showing us, a good example. So for me to just be satisfied and be like, oh, that's okay that you just came in on drugs, I think that's a slave where you just don't care what's happening. You just are going with the flow. You go to work every single day. I consider that a slave.
I agree 100%. And with the whole college thing, you hit it the nail on the head earlier when you were saying if you have a passion or something that you're going for.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that being a slave.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people get in these jobs, like you said, and they hate it.
They hate it.
They
yeah.
hate their
my,
job.
My own cousin, he works. He went and got his. I don't know if he even got his job from his degree, but he got a degree in
Like
something.
like a bachelor's.
Yeah, I think it was a bachelor's, but he works for the bank, and he makes decent money. He's got a house. He's got he's pretty well set. He doesn't have any for the most part what he wants he can have, but he's not necessarily happy because the growth. He has a mind to always constantly be growing and doing more, and he's kind of hit that ceiling where you hit with a lot of jobs. You hit a ceiling. You're cut off. There's a certain height. You can't
go any
reach
further, right?
unless
Yeah.
you know people, and if you don't have those connections, you're kind of like, well, I've climbed as high as I can here. And a lot of people, that's the enjoyment, is the climb. They like to, to strive to achieve something. But when that's gone and you're just like sitting there, and
No
he's-
dopamine going through your
yeah,
blood,
he's
you know.
working from home,
Right.
and clicking a couple buttons on a keyboard, and the computer's doing most of the work for him. He's like, he's kind of, and he uses that drive to do other things, like he runs every day and he exercises every day, and he Mr. 1% better, who you are. He he does other things to help scratch that itch. But when I talk to him about doing stuff like this, or doing my other stuff online, or he's like, man, I want to do something like that. I hate this job. If I could find something else, he's obviously not going to just quit his job because he has 2 kids.
Right,
and
I
right.
mean,
kid
he would be a good influencer.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's trying. He's posting reels and stuff.
Yeah,
of
he
him
does
running
really
and
good.
Yeah. But
I like the guy.
that dread. Yeah, he's a good guy. But that dread of having to go to work every day and do the same thing mundane and not really having any growth and being, it's tough for a lot of people. And
Yeah.
and they are slaves. They're kind of stuck in that. Like,
Exactly. They get stuck, and then they have a family and kids, and
yeah.
And I still think even if you do have family and kids, I still think you can find time to start your own thing.
Yeah,
Even if you do have a job. Like 24 hours a day, and you're only working 8 hours, 10 hours a day,
Well, you're sleeping 8 of those, or
Right.
depending on who
sleep
you are.
8.
See, if I'm like desiring something, I'm gonna lose some lack of sleep. I mean, you've seen it over the couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep at, late 4 a.m. I wake up. I go to work at 7 a.m. and then I stay up till 1 p.m., 2 p.m. the next day. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you desire something, you're gonna lose lack of sleep to go do that, no matter
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, like today, we woke up at like 4:30 or something like that. I work third shift, so don't think it's crazy.
Right.
I didn't get to bed till later because I was so like thinking about this, and I
Yeah.
was looking up research and looking up different things that we're gonna do and this and that, and I didn't get to bed till later. So I only got like 5.5, 6 hours of sleep. but,
Exactly, and you're gonna sacrifice your sleep to do what you want, no matter if you got a job that you're steadily going to. If you want to get out of that, there's always hope. You just got to lose maybe 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
Not that
exactly.
bad, bro.
Depending on your age, you shouldn't have an
Exactly.
issue with
Yeah.
My point is if you're physically not capable of lasting.
that. Yeah, I think once you get over like 65, you need those 8 hours.
Yeah.
You're gonna be dead.
I would agree, but people who want to get out of that, probably aren't that age because they're about to go into retirement or something like that.
Yeah.
They've already worked all their life. What's a couple more years? Or whatever.